Hi, welcome to Miss Music, or welcome back to Miss Music. In this video, I'll give you 3 reasons why I think you should listen to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. But first, some background. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath was Black Sabbath's 5th studio album, released in 1973. And it's an odd album because in many ways it marks a pivotal point in the band's history, with Rolling Stone calling it an extraordinary, gripping affair and nothing less than a complete success. This is a band that really wasn't getting much good press before this album. It marks a kind of a maturation in their music and songwriting styles. It explores a wider scope of music and introduces strings and synthesizers, but it also marks the start, I think, of the band's decline. That it got made at all was surprising. Sabbath had been touring relentlessly, with members using drugs to make it through the grueling touring schedule. Exhausted guitarist Toni Iommi collapsed after a gig at the Hollywood Bowl and was rushed to hospital, with Geezer Butler fearing he would die. That marked the end of the tour, and the remaining dates were then cancelled. But fit again, Iommi experienced writer's block due in part to his drug excess and the sheer pressure the band were putting on him to come up with new material again. So, that they released anything was quite surprising. In order to gain a fresh start, and I suppose a fresh perspective, the band decamped from their LA studio to Clearwell Castle in the Forest of Dean in Gloucestershire. And of course, they encountered a ghost. But the new atmosphere, the historic castle, the dungeons reeking with the blood and torture of past prisoners, and the band being scared witless by apparitions and hauntings, led to the creation of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. There cannot be a more Black Sabbath-y type place to record an album. Now, I own 2 other Sabbath albums, Black Sabbath, which I made a video about, and Sabotage, which I remember very little about, but don't recall it being very good. But it's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath that really struck me as a teenage listener. And I still really enjoy these albums and get a lot of pleasure listening to this album. If you know the album, is it one of your favorites, or did it move too far away from the classic sound of those great earlier albums? Give this video a like if you want more people to know about this music, and do subscribe to join in the conversation. I am really interested to hear your thoughts on this, and you always know much, much more about these albums and these bands than I do, so I just get to learn a lot, which is nice. So reason number 1 for liking this album is the greater complexity this album achieves. And it does this, I think, in 2 ways. The first is the more complex arrangements of the songs. The earlier songs are great. I love them, but you know how these tracks are going to proceed after you've listened to the first few bars. They're quite repetitive. And there's little surprise in those earlier songs, but there's an energy to them, which is amazing. Here, the songs are much more complex in nature and shift more between darker and heavier moments and lighter melodic elements, all embedded in more complex arrangements. There is also much more use of synthesizers. And I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I really love the dark synth sound on Who Are You? The album also introduces strings to elevate some of these tracks. Secondly, there is a wider use of musical styles on the album and more acoustic work. Spiral Architecture is one of my favorite Sabbath tracks, even above classics like Iron Man and Paranoid and Warpigs. It begins with a very evocative acoustic piece before launching into the riff with a few da-dums, reminiscent of The Who. The track also uses strings very effectively. Butler has said that the song is about how life adds to our DNA, making us unique individuals, but I really cannot get that from the lyrics, I'm afraid. I've always thought of the song, I've always thought about a divine creator building worlds. It's not a bad thing that the lyrics are obscure, I think. Songs that allow us, the listener, to build our own stories and personalize the tracks are always, they're always very special. I really love Ozzy's voice on these songs. It sounds great and it has that oddly menacing quality to it. So reason number 2 is that although this album is riff driven, like all Sabbath albums, I suppose, that influence is much subtler, I think, than on past albums. There are some difficult songs on this album. For example, I think A National Architect is a little plodding in places. And I can't imagine this was a song that was played much live, if at all. The track that got the creative juices flowing for the band, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, kicks off the album. And this is far more in the vein of early Sabbath tracks that are not riff-driven. However, the riff is subtler here, and the song much more developed than on past albums. And Geezer Butler has said that the riff of this song really marked a new direction for the band. I don't know if you agree with that. reason number 3 then is the development of some more, I didn't know how to express this, but kind of more rocky tracks. I think tracks that could appeal to a wider audience. The album has some dark songs like Who Are You, but Looking for Today is one of the band's easier songs to listen to. And like the rest of the album, shows that Sabbath were open to experimenting with their sound. This paid off with the album receiving many positive reviews, something that had, as I said, eluded them on their previous albums. I think the album marks one of those important inflection points in the band's career where they are much more in control of the creative process and have become they've just become more proficient musicians and more proficient writers. It's a shame the album was to mark the road to Ozzy leaving the band. And although he would go on to record 3 more albums with the band, this is the point that he has stated in interviews where he thought he should have left. So let me know what you think about this album. As I said, it's one of my favorite Black Sabbath albums. I can listen to this much more than some of the other albums. Is it one of your favorites? If so, why? If you don't like it, what is it about it? And what happened to the band after this point? Because, you know, some of the albums that are going to come after Sabbath Bloody Sabbath are pretty weak compared to this. Was this really the high point of Sabbath? Thanks for listening. Do subscribe if you want, and see you on the next video.